my story is one of telling the story of agriculture. I grew up on a farm. I love that lifestyle. I was in 4-H and FFA growing up, and I knew if I wasn't going to go back to the farm that my joy and passion is telling the story. Another influence that I had in my life that it was really important was FFA. Besides the great agricultural background, everything you do in FFA has some type of leadership element. I would walk the halls in my FFA jacket and people would ask, why are you in ag? What is FFA? And I was always telling the story of agriculture. And when I was in 10th grade, my ag teacher told me that there was a career or a degree at the University of Florida called Ag Communications. And I was one of the fortunate few, because from 10th grade, I remember the day, I remember the way the light was shining in that window in that classroom when she said that. I'm like, that's my job. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a job. And there were a lot of people that didn't think I would get a job. Not that they were doubting me, but they didn't think there was an industry that would sustain that. And so even my parents were like, are you going to be able to get a job with that? And not only was I able to get a job, I was able to start a business. And 15 years later, we still have a very, very strong business. At the marketplace, we do agricultural marketing. So we do primarily web design and video production. Those are our two biggest areas of marketing. My role within the organization is business owner, and also my technical skill is video production. So I do a lot of the video work, which is, telling the stories. I think my leadership philosophy is one to get out of the way, whether with your employees or your board members or your committee members. Let them wow you, let them use their talents, and don't stop their momentum or hinder their momentum with trivial things. Don't micromanage. I think that's what I try to do. My hands-off philosophy probably came from when I went to work for the Florida strawberry growers as their marketing director, and I had Dr. Chip Hinton, and I think he was a fantastic mentor because he was one, when you worked on a project, you just felt complete freedom. It was a little scary starting with him 2 days after I graduated from college, but I try to emulate that style now because I like to give people the freedom to do what they want to do and get out of their way. The way the company evolved actually has a lot to do with Wedgworth. I guess I always knew that I wanted to have my own business, and ag communications was a passion. When I was in the Wedgworth leadership class, I was fairly young. I was 28, and I knew I was moving towards creating my own business. But it was through that class that I developed the confidence to actually go out on my own, and Chip said the strawberry growers could be your first client. So being in Wedgworth was huge. Not only did it give me the confidence to say, okay, I'm going to make this jump, it also provided me with 28, 29 potential clients because my class members really sustained me. They said, if you do this, I will use your business, and they did. It's hard for me to talk about challenges and conflicts because really in the grand scheme of things and with what other people are facing in life, particularly people in agriculture, citrus growers with greening and, all kinds of things. When the cattle market was bad, it's not bad now. I think my challenges and conflicts are pretty minimal, but I've had a few. The months that are slow and you really are trying to make payroll, that's a challenge for me. Could I be making twice as much money with my degree working for someone else? Every day I have to pump myself back up and say, maybe you could be making money for someone else and your job might be a little bit easier, but it's not really what I want to do. And then I'll have those great days where I'll get that email from the client, or someone will say, thank you for this website because we just got 8 new sales. That's what keeps me going.